welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a little bit different, or maybe the start of something different. We'll see about that. But I decided for myself that I want to do more of a sewing diary, mainly because video editing takes a lot of time. And sorry, this is going to be a little bit talk about the future of this channel, like I feel like a prestige by doing this. Anyway, video editing, like making different kinds of projects and filming them and filming different kinds of projects and editing them takes a lot of time, which I barely have. And I'm gonna be honest, it's not the most fun thing for me to do. And I think not doing something fun for a hobby is a little bit problematic. But the problem is that I really like filming and really like documenting my projects this way with camera and everything. So what I decided to try out is this vlogging style. I hate the word vlogging, but like a video blog where I film different kinds of projects I'm currently working on and my thought process behind them and like the steps, but not the actual sewing, but more of a documentation of what I did, what I'm going to do, what I think, something like that. The advantage of this should be that you hopefully see things when they happen and not like a year after. And maybe it's a little bit more interesting to watch. I think, and what I tried, it's more interesting for me to film it that way. So I'm gonna give that a try, I guess. The other big advantage for me is that I can show you everything I do. And let me know in the comments, but I do some other things than sewing and costume making as well. Well, actually I sew modern clothes as well, which you know if you follow me on Instagram. But I also do like to make jewelry and accessories for historical and modern things. Also do some other stuff. Maybe baking. I love baking. I love gardening and doing things with flowers and stuff. I'm currently going into making fabric flowers, so there are a lot of things that I usually don't make videos about, painting and drawing as well, which I think would be nice to show. I think I should start giving a little bit of an overview what I'm going to do those weeks or however long this vlog will take. The first thing I'm currently working on is a chemise, and it's a chemise for my opera gown, which I haven't updated you about often, basically because I just spent like last year embroidering the overlay. I'm very slow at that and I took some quite long breaks, but eventually it'll come around. I have a chemise that I wanted to use for that, but the problem is that the neckline is a little bit too high. So I decided to make a new chemise with a lower neckline because it fitted the neckline of the opera gown to the chemise I had, which isn't ideal because it doesn't look like the original. The original had a very, very wide neckline. And also my old chemise isn't the best. It was one of my first projects I ever made and it is all over the place with satin binding and polyester stuff. Yeah, never mind. So I'm making a new chemise out of white cotton and a white cotton voile as well. And I'm trying to make just a really pretty, simple A-line chemise, which I, as I do always, start with sketching and planning it out. Most of the time I do simple, quick sketch of what I'm trying to make, so I have something to refer to when I'm sewing. The other bigger project that came up is my 1950s blouse. I had this beautiful cotton and it just was meant to be a blouse. The problem with the other chemise is it's like very high-necked. High-necked? It has like a very high neck. And so I need a new one. And I really don't want to draft the pattern. Like, I really don't. So I took my 1930s pattern out. And I think it's a very nice garment for this chemise. So obviously this thing has been made out of something a little bit lighter than the cotton. not lighter exactly, but more flowy. But I really think it has a nice shape because it's just like it's exactly what I want, like just straight down. And I'm gonna make this out of cotton. Obviously, don't do all the reversed buttonholes because I don't need this. Of course, it will cinch them, but I will make the neckline a lot wider, and probably like do the armholes a little bit wider like this, and then the neckline gets more cut out. I want it to be a little bit more off shoulder because the opera gown, like, it's really, really cut very wide, so it's like almost off the shoulder. I haven't cut it like it is shown on the original, but so it covers up the chemise. And back then I didn't know that I was beading this thing for 1.5 years, so I said to myself, yeah, I'm gonna just use the undies I have. Now that I did beading for 1.5 years, I think it deserves its own chemise, so it really is the best as it can get. So it's kind of difficult to see, just because of the perspective, but I've just made a mock-up for the 1950s blouse. 1950s blouse. I haven't tried it on yet, you will be there when I try it on, but right lying here, the sleeves don't seem right. They just don't seem right. I have to change like the width here, and maybe I need to lengthen it here. Like this curve doesn't seem right. If I add something here, and then this should have a little bit more room than here. So I'm gonna try it on and see how it looks on me. It's not too bad. It really isn't too bad. It's a little like a move like this. It's a little bit tight, but yeah, that's very typical with like cotton garments. Not really that it doesn't move. I was expecting this, and let's turn around. I haven't looked at myself from the back yet. The color back here goes up very high because this part right here just extends way too much. Yes, it's okay. The sleeve is okay. Actually, it's quite okay when I wear it. Obviously, it just needs, like, this fold will go away once the sleeve like properly works, but I still think I will add something right here. The rest I need to do, because here I need to go in again. And that's too high. The rest I'll do look like this. The rest I do lying on the desk again. And when I'm already marking and ruining this top, I'm gonna add something here. Yes, but other than that, it is really what I want. So I made the alterations I just told you. When I wore the mock-up, I widened the sleeve a little bit here. Weirdly enough, when I sewed the sleeve in, the sleeves were too wide, but now when I measure it, there's only like 1.5 centimeters too wide, which should be easily held in while sewing. If it ends up to be too much, I gather the sleeve a little bit. It's a very flattering shape too, so I wouldn't mind if I'd have to gather the sleeve cap a little bit. What I did bother with was making the dart shorter. This is very simply done by just gluing an additional piece of paper on, measuring like 2 to 3 centimeters in, and drawing out the new dart. And what I do, I straightened up the side seam because this side seam was meant to be a dress, and since this is like a normal top, it looks a little bit weird going up like this. What I didn't show you yet is the fabric. It is blue cotton, and it is this very sweet print in blue, and I want this to be at the bottom, so I have a very straight line, and there isn't much room for error because this border is just on one line. I have to cut it like this, so this border is around the waist, which is exactly what I want. Yesterday I received this book, and I was very much looking forward to it. It wasn't easy to get, so it took quite a long time to get it. But now I have it. It's about ribbon flowers. I have a few ribbon flowers I made recently, and they were supposed to go on this gown, like not on the gown itself, but as like hair decor. But as you can see, the blue isn't quite, like it should match this blue right here, and the purple should obviously match the other purple here, and white obviously in front. But I still feel like this doesn't quite belong. It's, to me, not a very floral dress, so I'm not happy with this floral arrangement going on the hair, although floral was very popular in the 18th century. But I prefer another hairstyle, and I bought some other materials for the hair, for the decor on the head. And they're supposed to come tomorrow, I guess. But to conclude that, the ribbon flowers I made, I will probably not use. And I bought this book because I wanted to make them a little bit more professional, but the book didn't came, and so I made those. But still, I'm very interested in flower making. So I'm still very happy that this book came, because there's a lot in it. But on the supplies, the only bad thing is that most of them are made with silk, and silk ribbon is immensely hard to get. If you have any suppliers who sell silk ribbon, I'm glad to know, but I only get my hand on polyester, and many of these flowers you can make with a polyester ribbon, or at least they won't look as good. And there are beautiful flowers in it, like the cherry blossoms I love. Like those are very pretty as well. I am quite interested in starting that, and so I need to get my hand on quite a lot of silk ribbon, and then I just want to make and play around a little bit with it. There are also those cockades in here, which I really want to make for 2 costumes I have in mind. The orchids are beautiful as well. Like, there are a lot of things I really look forward to making. Those looks great too. I can probably get away with a sateen ribbon with those. And the pansies, I love the pansies. They're beautiful. But as I said, most is made of silk ribbon, and I can't get my hand on silk ribbon other than AliExpress. So I might order there, which would be a first. Other than that, I don't know where to get it from. So I try to order this so I can just do a little bit of, maybe I dye the silk myself. Silk is rather easy to dye, and this will be an adventure. Okay, process update. Yesterday morning I cut the chemise before work, and this morning I sewed it together. I assembled it. I did it with French seams on the side, like very narrow French seams here and there, just to save a little bit of time, so I don't have to hand fell it, and the straps are just sewn regularly. And I will fold them open today evening or whenever I have time and hand fell them, I guess. I might have to widen the neckline even a little bit more, maybe widen it a little bit here, because the neckline of the opera gown is very wide. Not necessarily low, but very wide. So I might have to do that so this part doesn't peek out. But I'm gonna try that on today in the evening and decide what I'm gonna do. Also, I cut out the ruffles that will go on the bottom and sewed them together. Where is it? Here. Also with narrow French seams. And French seams I did several times on this channel. And you can also find a lot of tutorials online how to do them. And this is just a batiste voile in cotton, and those ruffles will go on the bottom. Those are not ruffles, those will be pleats, but never mind, I'm gonna refer to it as ruffles because, I don't know, the word pleat doesn't come over my mouth so easily. I don't know why actually, but I just always say ruffles. But those will be pleats. I just tried this dress on really quickly. Very chic over my cotton pants here. Like, that's the look. Never mind. I tried it on and it's exactly what I thought the problem would be. Because I had the same problem with the 1930s dress, is that it's here. It goes a little out here and it's just too wide. It looks a little bit awkward. And otherwise it fits well. And as I said before, I'm gonna just cut out like here a little bit. So make this like a little bit more flattened up. Flattened out? Flattened out? Is that the appropriate answer? Well, never mind. Gonna just make a line here and maybe like a little bit more low cut. Yeah, let's move forward with this. Okay, I talked about the package briefly, I think, and it just came. So I'm doing a little unpacking here. First thing, this is like a regular wood box for these little notes that are in style, like those things appeared a few years ago, and now I love this little like square sheets of paper where I can like make notes and everything. So I thought I might need a pretty surrounding for them, and I picked up this wood thing. So I don't know how I will decorate it, but anyway, got it. Like this is a back strap, just for like a regular back strap for a steampunk bag I want to make. That's the hard word. Steampunk bag. And I made this bag when I was just starting out sewing, and I didn't really like it and I want to remake it, and that's the thing I ordered for it. So I have like a nice wide shoulder strap. And then there are colors, metallic colors. I'm gonna use this for the hair decoration on my rococo dress, and I have a little shell theme going on, like seashells, and I want to paint them like in this white metallic here, and then add some hair clips so I can like decorate my hair with seashells. So that's for that. Then we have something very fun that I just ordered on a whim, and it's a coral lycra swimsuit fabric. And sadly I got an idea for a new swimsuit yesterday on our costume event that I want to make. It's a very nice 20s swimsuit. And now I won't make this summer because I'd rather make the 20s one, but still I love the fabric. But the thing I ordered this for is this fabric here. And I was very scared at first because it looks plain and it definitely had a pattern. I'm not sure if I mentioned what I'm going to use this for, but this will be for an 1860s gown. A working gown. And I'm going to reveal the pattern to all of you. And to me. And yeah, I love it. It's exactly what I wanted. Beautiful. I want like this beautiful tiny little print. I wanted florals, which it definitely has. You see, it's very kind. Like you can see it's some small, very detailed flowers. It runs under Drachtenstoff here, which means it's for folkloric dress, like dirndls and other kinds of folkloric wear here. But I think it works very well for the 1860s. And another very interesting part is, will it fit to the lace I have? Oh yes, it fits very well. That's exactly what I wanted for this dress. I did look around for a fabric for this quite long. I wanted it to be quite dark, but not too dark that the lace doesn't show up. But I wanted to incorporate the lace well, and I think that's like a perfect match. Okay, status update. I cut the 1950s blouse, and this is the back. This is the front, as seen by the darts that are already marked out. I had to cut this on the right side because of the pattern, although I noticed when I cut it that you see the pattern slightly on the back, so this wouldn't have to be necessary. But still, so the hemline is accurate. I cut it on the right side. And yeah, that's it. Not surprisingly, I did not have enough fabric for cutting the sleeves on this like flower border too. So they're just plain blue sleeves, which is fine for me too. Like this is already enough going on, like this is really high. And I also cut two facings for the neckline. This one is for the front and this one for the back. Just trace the pattern, and then like 5 centimeters downwards I drew another line here and added a seam allowance, just like I did on the base. And now I can start assembling it, which would start with the back seam and the darts obviously, so I can go further with the shoulder side seams and like put the whole thing together. The interesting thing about this is that I wanted to have a button closure at the back, but it seems with the mock-up I made that I can fit my head through without this. So I will sew this together and then I'll look if I can get my head through the neckline, because it is quite narrow. Like, this is the back, this is the front, there is 1 centimeter seam allowance, but it should fit, and I'm not mad if I don't have to do a button closure, because, well, this makes things 10 times faster if there isn't one. So I'm gonna assemble it and then try it, and then maybe I have to do next. I'm going to work now on the ruffles for the chemise, which I already cut and sewn together, which I think I've showed you, and then I hemmed it. And I didn't do it with machine, I did this with hand, because this way I can have this very tiny little seam, and you can see the stitches here, just whip stitch it up, which I did thousands of times in my videos. And yeah, it's basically just a rolled seam, and I'm gonna pleat it, and I'm gonna use a fork for that, which is a technique for quick pleating, I guess. So I'm very excited to try this out today. So that was the video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. And as I said in the beginning, please leave a comment if you like this kind of video and if you want me to make more. Obviously, all the other videos that I've filmed will come out eventually, because it would be a waste having everything filmed and every material gathered up and not editing it into a video. So I'm definitely gonna do that, but it will just take some time. And some series I started, like 18th century and the Upper Record, I'm going to finish that as separate videos on that, and I might do some separate videos as well. But I think vlogging is something that is a little bit easier to edit and a little bit quicker, and I can stay more up to date. Because the sad thing is YouTube does want to have something uploaded at least every second week. And with sewing, I think if this isn't your full-time job, it's not easy to have a video coming up so often. And maybe this kind of documenting the process works better. So I'm glad you joined in, and I'm glad you watched till the end. And I'll see you next time. Bye!